Gonna join us?
Yeah.
And until we have the elections for chairman, vice chair, and committee appointments, I'm going to call the meeting to order, so if we could all rise. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, if we could skip to new business, committee appointments. And if someone would like to make a nomination for chairman of the board.
I would, Chairman. I'd like to nominate Andy Sylvester for chair of the board.
Is there a second?
I second that.
And roll call or discussion?
Yeah, I'd actually like to nominate Gary.
I think we would have to take a vote on this first motion.
Okay.
So Andy?
You can start with Jason first.
You want me to start with Jason? Jason?
Yep.
And Paula?
Yes.
Gary?
No.
Rick?
No.
And Andy?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. And now, Andy, you're in charge.
Right. Motion for vice chair?
I vote Gary. Make a motion for Gary.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Committee appointments there. I'd like to stay on planning and budget.
We'd like you to stay on that. I'll second that.
Down there. Alternates for budget. I don't know if I'll stick around, but who would like to be an alternate?
My sister's on the budget committee, so I would prefer not to be the alternate on there.
Alright, I guess I could be an alternate if you want.
Sure. Planning board?
No, I thought that's what we were doing. Oh,
No
but
budget, you're on budget.
I can go like that, rather than not.
I think Jason would be beneficial on planning, just with his background.
did you say you were staying on budget and I was an alternate?
Right.
Alright, that's,
Which means you want to do anything.
alright, that's what I was looking for.
I know.
Okay, and then you're gonna stay on planning, Andy and
Jason.
Jason?
So whoever,
I'll stay on BCEP.
alternate, alternate.
Kinda have to.
Can you talk up a little bit? It's hard to hear.
Oh, sorry,
Rich is
I'm staying on the BCEP.
he's the primary rep. Alternate for BCB.
Your sister's on that one too.
I'm happy to do it, but that depends on you
Actually,
guys.
isn't Michelle an alternate?
Different type of appointment
No.
for
She's
that
the budget
committee.
committee representative.
Yes, she's for,
She's the select board appointment.
right.
Yeah, but she was appointed as an alternate.
Yes, but that's to meet their appointment on the BCEP committee. They look for a citizen rep, they look for a budget committee rep, so,
I don't wanna just keep her asking the alternate. Alright, Gary? No?
Yeah,
Are you
I don't
doing anything?
Yeah, parks, I hope.
You still want Parks and Rec there, Gary?
Yeah,
Okay. You want space needs, Gary?
what's that?
You want space needs?
Yeah,
Get those out of the way. Conservation Committee alternate?
Who's the primary?
There is no primary on this one.
Just an alternate?
Yep.
Show me who was on it
Jason.
before.
I don't have that listed.
didn't Rob take that after it?
I was.
After
So-
that.
Yeah.
Could have been.
So which one is it?
Jason, Conservation Committee.
Okay.
Zoning Board?
I'd like to do that if that's the option.
CIP? Anybody wanna do that?
No.
I'll do it.
Who's in?
I'll do it, yep.
We'll do safety.
Safety and Highway,
We'll do it.
Grant Research and
Or
Policy.
actually, you wanna give that, Jason, you wanna do safety and highway?
Sure. Okay, Jason. Grant Research and Policy Review.
I can do that.
Oh, I remember these things. I remember all these being like this.
No, me neither.
Are these
Yeah,
all
so
new?
these are the
Nope.
same.
There's the same ones out.
Business development doesn't meet
Yeah.
So who was on grant research?
Paula.
Paula.
You said, Stacy, and I took that was at Town Hall or Maple Street? Because I was Maple Street in traffic study.
You still want that, Gary?
Yeah, so the other one is what, Town Hall space needs?
I mean, it's just space needs in general, technically.
I can do that one if you want.
Noise ordinance was you, Gary, as well, last year.
Yeah. That went really well.
And who's business development?
Did you put me down at town hall, space needs, is that what you had me at?
Oh, you want?
You want that?
Yeah, why, did you want it?
No.
I'm not gonna fight for it.
You put a quick grab on it.
You make up your minds. With a-
You can have some.
Alright. So Rick's Town Hall space needs.
Business development group,
Sounds like you work. Milfoil Committee,
The what?
Milfoil Committee.
I'll take that. That should be about all set now.
The master plan, there is none this year.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about that.
you know what one is?
That was Gary.
Yeah,
That was Gary.
okay.
Okay. Committee appointments done.
Sweet.
Everybody see payroll manifest?
Yep.
Everybody see the minutes?
Yep.
March 3rd?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March 3rd. Right, yes,
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2 intent cut forms. Everybody see those?
Yep.
Letter from BCEP regarding the used oil grant.
Yep.
Letters to candidates regarding the selectman vacancy.
We saw
Sign
those.
those. Sergeant here? I don't see him.
Still not, sir?
Nope.
Is he on duty?
He is. He did a traffic stop on here and got an arrest, so he's not gonna be here.
He's not gonna make it?
No.
Alright.
So, Tammy, you're up.
So are we gonna meet with Sergeant Bolduc at a later date?
I think we should.
I think so too, that's why I'm just saying, maybe,
Well, I
we
mean,
can let him know we would, if he can make it for the next meeting.
did you say he was at a traffic stop?
Yes.
Okay, so he may be available in a little while, won't he?
It sounded like it was an arrest.
the auto fingerprint now?
What's going on?
Hi,
So,
Tammy.
hi, how are you?
Good.
So I had initially thought I was going to a private meeting, so I'm seeing all these people here, I'm very nervous, so thank you very much for that. I had been looking into assisting with getting a Mylar signed, and a few things came up that I was concerned with, and I wanted to discuss
Okay,
that.
can you kind of give us a quick description of what the Mylan sign is for?
It's for a subdivision.
Okay,
That
but what do
was
you
a
need that
conditional-
sign for? What do you need that sign for?
Well, I was
For
trying
the registry?
correct.
Okay.
Yes, to be recorded. And when I was meeting with some of the members, or a member, was told some things that were concerns to me because it was, this shouldn't be like this in this side of the town. This is not the way I want to see things go. We should have these things over here. And as a member of the board, I felt they're representing the whole town. So by going to me with this and knowing that other things were said, specifically to the same person saying, I do not like this person, I will not approve, it wouldn't bother me if this person never built in this town again,
Oh.
is a lot to take. So my first thing was to find out who is in charge of the different members of the boards. Where does the buck
I just
stop?
know, you're talking about the planning board, correct, Tammy?
Yes. I'm just not sure what I can say and what I can't
Yeah,
say, so I'm like, I'm not trying to use any names or
Don't mention
anything.
any names,
Yeah.
basically.
Um,
You know, if you're having some problems or you feel that you're not being treated fairly, you can say that in public.
Okay,
Um,
so my
just
concern
try to
was the
engage out as much
way,
as possible.
what I was hearing, I knew others were hearing because they were telling me this, and it's all opening the town up to a lawsuit. I mean, basically, that's my biggest concern. The further I go into it, I have some questions because of that same Mylar, decisions to do certain things with the road improvement seem to be, and I'm gonna use words that are comfortable to me, they may not be the right words, overbuilt for what was needed. I've spoken to a couple engineers, I've taken the information to a couple of companies that do the work who felt, yes, this does happen on times, and if we get the job, we will suggest that it can be done less expensively and still get the same results. So with that, my question was, on this, it is a condition of the approval that a number of items get done, which we've taken care of, getting them all done, with the exception of basically paying the money to hold in escrow for this road work to be done, because I feel the road work was overbuilt and could be done maybe differently. So,
So is there a percentage of the engineering costs that's has to be held? Is that the agreement, or?
there's a percentage that would be held for the project, and it would be a percentage of the town,
That's for the engineering?
and
Yeah, I think I was responsible for 33% of the project,
38, yeah.
and then the town was, was responsible for the rest of it.
So because they had different quotes that were with people that are no longer hired at the town, and we have a new town engineer, I went to the town engineer, or I think he is now, Jeff at North Point, and asked his opinion. He said, I can't do anything to look into it because I work for the town, it would have to be the town that asked us to
Currently,
do
the town
it.
doesn't have an engineer.
Okay,
We haven't made a final decision on
oh, you
that.
haven't, okay, I thought
We
that was
talked
the
about
next.
different engineering firms, but we haven't actually confirmed one yet.
Okay, so with that, I had thought it was that, and I was like, well, could we, as a group, see if this work could be done less money? Not because of the developer, as much as the whole town. if we can bring that 800,000 down to 500,000, and it's split between the developer and the town, the taxpayers save. So I'm looking for the ability to do that. I did ask between the time I set this meeting and today, and was told, yes, we would look at another plan. My question was, if we did have North Point, could we as a group have them look at it and see if some of the areas could be done for less money? If it was done for less money, we may be able to get it done and not held out. I truly, this is just my opinion, to have something held out for 6 years before it's done puts the town at more of a risk. If we can get it to a point where we could agree to do the work, get it paid for, and not, like, if we have enough money in 6 years,
I
we
mean,
just, it would be beneficial.
I mean, I got thrown in the middle of it there on planning board, and like I said at planning board, we technically have the money aside. So, what was discussed at planning board? So, is it worth relooking at plans and seeing if we can be done
That's what I'm-
more cost effective?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, in the end, it's a win for both the applicant and the town. But we can't, this board can't make any decisions,
I was gonna say, this,
so.
because our planning board is an elected planning board, we don't have any oversight over elected officials. Basically, as bad as it is to say, and I'm not recommending it anyway, but usually any issues with an elected official end up as a legal matter because they're elected. The town elected them and they have to follow the law and all that, but they answer to the town. They don't answer to,
So
Like
like,
they-
you ask them to be excused because of a personal interest,
that
and
would
they
be up
don't
to them.
do
You know what I mean,
that.
the board could do that,
No one
Because
did.
they're their own governing body.
yes.
That's what.
Is it multiple members on the board that you feel are being, unfair or unjust in this?
I haven't
Or
been
is it just
into it, I've only been exposed, I wouldn't be able to say that, no.
The problem is, do you know what the number was, by any chance? Or
The number-
the construction engineering cost?
645,000, I think,
That's
for
what-
the town portion, and 247,000 was the,
Yeah, so it's about $800,000. Now, you do understand that if by chance you go up and you re-engineer it, that still has to go across the board, it still has to be reviewed, and it still has to be approved.
that's why I was,
So it's gonna prolong things a little bit, even though the long-term benefits is, will probably be a lot better.
Mhm.
I mean, ultimately, it's up to this board too, though, if, for financial responsibilities for the engineer. Because we've been telling the planning board to go to a third-party engineer that the applicant pays for, and to not use the town's engineer. So they do have one item in their budget now, planning board, for an engineer, which is only budgeted at $15,000 because of how much money they spent last year over budget. They were about $100,000 over what we had budgeted for just the town on our side. So we have been pushing, this select board has been pushing back on them as to enough with the engineering and kind of keeping the town, because we have financial responsibility on that.
Right.
So you gotta think of that too.
so if a new, I think what I'm hearing is a new engineer by the developer would be looked at.
Yep.
And then we just wait and see if it's favorable or not. And then that would be 3 different people would look at that to get, how do we determine, because I think there's 2 there now, or 2 people had given their opinion of it. I'm gonna say Right Angle, I think, designed it or came up with it, and then North Point
Mhm.
was the second one,
And Right Angle is no longer associated with the town.
correct?
And North Point reviewed Right Angle's engineering,
My understanding is that was the second opinion.
okay.
That was a third party. So, I mean, ultimately, yeah, it could be re-engineered by the applicant, presented to planning board.
And then it starts kind of all over, but if that's the only thing, if it's an
start all over. I mean, it was really just it would be an amendment or an addendum to the original order, to do it at a lesser cost.
And then the only other question I have, I believe I have, is if the culvert that we're talking about was recommended to the town by the state that it should have been replaced already, and it seems to be the fighting point now of all the money, because whether it's another culvert or whether it's a box culvert or whatever it is, that design is on a town road. So I don't understand why, I mean, I understand the developer having to design everything up until the road, but to have them design a town road.
It's road improvements and planning board, they can have an offsite exaction, which is very common in a lot of planning boards.
And so they can
So-
have, even though it's a town road, you can have an outside opinion as long as it's reviewed by the town afterwards and approved.
So basically, you're gonna buy a piece of property, make sure there's no bridges.
Yeah.
Anything on it, and it's well paved and all
Right.
taken care of,
Yeah,
when you're buying the
there's
whole.
nothing that could come up, but,
Yeah.
but with that, so the part about, having, I don't know what the right word is, a hostile member or a, a unbiased member on a board, isn't anything that can be done without an attorney.
Well, you can definitely bring it to the board's attention, the board itself can,
They govern each other, the board governs itself.
so you can definitely bring it to the board's attention. You do have new members on the board now,
Mhm.
I believe,
You can request it, but they recuse themselves.
and you can request that they recuse themselves. if
But
you
they
feel
don't
that
have
they're-
to, if they don't feel that.
If the rest of the board feels that
Yeah.
your complaints are legitimate, then they'll probably work with you on it.
Okay.
And that's really where you want to start anyways.
Yep.
If you have a problem with a member, then bring it to the whole board.
Yep.
Let them know, and this is why, because this was said, or that was said, or, whatever.
Okay, all right, I wasn't sure
And
what
I
the
think that'll
process
help a
was.
lot, and I think your engineering costs are probably half of what this really are.
Well, I think at least to have another eye at it.
Yeah.
I definitely would have another eye at it, so we've done that in town. Not in any contract with a specific engineering company,
No.
but had another engineer look at some things and it's way more cost effective.
Yeah, we found,
Different points of view, different ways
Right.
of doing things, so.
Cool, all right, thank you for listening.
sure.
Mr. Williams here? I know I did see him.
All right. So, I'm here today to discuss the town stump dump. I've been owning the property that it's on for the last 25 years now. My grandfather owned it before me, and the agreement that I understood from my grandfather, and like I said, this is now going back 60 plus years, so the agreement was probably a handshake and a couple of chickens or something like that to start with, but the town would pay for the stump dump. My grandfather had always told me that the allotment was that the price for the stump dump was always whatever the tax was on the property. Since I took over the property and have started making improvements, I have left it at the $250 that was current at that point in time as a gesture, because I'm making improvements. Town should not be, even though the property tax has increased, I've done a solid and left the allotment at the $250, and I checked and I did not get a payment last year for it. So I was wondering what has transpired with that. Is it something that was just overlooked, or was it something that was voted to eliminate and I was never notified?
No, I think that was something that was overlooked, because we have it in this year's budget too.
Okay.
So I honestly think that was just overlooked.
Do we, are we the only ones who use this stuff though?
Over the last few years, I'm not sure, but I do know 10, 15 years ago, the town was working with contractors and everything and actually making some money on it. I think the last time I knew, they were getting like $250, $300 per truckload. You know,
So the 250 just allows us to go there and dump?
it allows the town pretty much unlimited use, and then if, like I said, must be 15, maybe closer to 20 years ago, there was large quantities of stumps and some logs and chips and stuff coming in, and I worked with the selectmen at that point in time, and they had a company come in and level it off by grinding most of the stumps at a fairly significant price tag. So like I said,
So we cleaned it up before, and that
Yes.
was, and about how much was that, do you remember? Is that gonna happen again?
not for a while. There's still plenty of room. Like I said, when they did do it, I think I remember the price tag was approximately $100,000.
Oh, shit.
But to give you an idea, that was a 40-foot tall wall of stumps that was easily 50 or 60 yards deep by 200 yards long. It was very, very significant. But yes,
How long ago was that?
15
A while ago.
15 towards 20 years ago, maybe even, might even been 25. My father was still alive because he was up there watching them unbury the stump grinder that they sunk.
It's always been that the residents contact highway, and
Yep.
highway would go up there,
Yep,
make sure they pay here, and everything.
It's $250 a year.
$250 a year is what has been going on since I took over the property.
But if we advertise that we're, DCP doesn't take yard waste anymore.
This isn't yard waste, this is stumps.
So that you all know, the thing with stumps is somebody somewhere in the past got them certified as a hazardous waste. So you have nuclear radiation, oil, and stumps. Not my thing, but they release a little bit of acid when they rot, so especially in large quantities, it will contaminate the ground. The state and possibly federal government guidelines are, if the stump is removed from the ground and stays on the site that it was removed from, it's okay. So if a contractor digs up a stump, goes out in the back of the property, digs a hole, buries it, it's okay. As soon as they put it in a truck and remove it from the site, which is what has to happen with any road construction in town, because you can't just roll the stump onto somebody else's property. Certainly can't leave it in the middle of the road. That's when it becomes a hazardous waste, when it's removed from the site at which it was dislocated from the ground on. So, if it was just an oversight, we can work with that. And like I said, I wanted to know what was going on, if it
So
was something
you
that,
want just stumps, or brush, or
dumps, obviously, you know, if somebody's digging up a tree and they've got a few branches, but definitely, you know, a grapple load of, bull pine logs is a different story. There have been a few of those show up over the years. And some chips and stuff like that, but generally it should be tried to keep 2 stumps. Just because I know grapple load of logs is gonna take a large quantity of space, whereas a truckload of stumps is what it's stated for and not gonna be as bulky.
So how come you just don't offer to handle this yourself instead of it going through the town?
It, like I said, it was
You know
an
what I'm
agreement with my
Oh, I
grandfather in
understand
the
that,
town
I mean-
for years, and I have just sort of continued the status quo.
Potentially you could make some money.
I possibly could, and that's
And we
been
can
my,
send everybody your way.
that has been a possibility that I've been thinking about over the last several weeks.
I'm sure
Waiting
this
for this.
$250 a year isn't breaking you.
No, no,
Um,
like I said, it's just,
And I asked this already, but I don't think you understood the question. Are we the only ones that use it, or does Pittsfield use it, Epsom use it, Chichester use it? Any of
only
those?
Barnstead has
Okay,
access to it other than through myself,
right.
obviously. If you guys, like I said, if it was just an oversight, we
Well,
can
it's in
work
the-
with
it's in
it.
the budget
If you
to
guys
do
would
it,
like to
but-
discuss it
My
after the
concern,
fact,
yeah, my concern is
Yeah.
about $100,000 bill when
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not really bringing in anything, you know?
Yep.
And we're only budgeted $250, so.
Yep.
That would be my concern, that's all. That's why I'm
Yep.
kind of hesitant.
yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And if you guys wanna discuss it and get back to me, that's fine, but like I said, nothing was gonna happen if questions weren't asked
Right, right.
and
No, no.
discussion was never started, so.
Yeah, I didn't even know about this, so
Yeah.
it's good information.
So do we wanna discuss it more? They wanna pay him for last year?
I think we
I
should
mean,
pay him for
yeah,
last
if we
year.
owe him for last year,
Yeah.
let's
We should
pay
pay
him for last year.
year.
We can discuss how we wanna move forward, but,
Discuss this year?
I mean, it is in the budget, so we'll go ahead and pay him. Sorry about that.
Like I said, nothing happens without the discussion being started, so that's where we started.
Well, I get drawn out of the stump town.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you.
We had a resignation from the highway supervisor. Truck repairs,
Can I just say, the, resignation of the highway supervisor, did we ask him for an exit interview? Not yet. Might we want to?
Kinda gave it to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we can ask him if he wants to come in. I'm pretty sure he's not going to, but.
Okay.
yeah,
I
I'm pretty
just,
sure probably
it
will.
would, I don't know if it would be beneficial to,
We've asked everybody that's left the town, nobody has come in.
people can't tell us why they're not staying, we're not gonna be able to fix it to get them to stay long.
You know,
Okay, truck repairs, we had the highway, so. Truck number 25 needs a carrier bearing and a U-joint to be replaced. They wanna pull the drive shaft out of truck 26 that's being used for the grant, that's being parked right now. To help minimize cost. It's said, estimated, everything's gonna be about $1,500 for them to do that, swap it over.
that truck's down and out right now,
25 is, yeah,
or 25, no, 26.
26 is down right now, 25 is down because the carrier bearing is going on the U-joint.
Right, but 26 is already, we're already piecemealing that?
That was the last part of the side of the salt shed
Okay,
with that one. So
Right.
instead of trying to buy a brand new carrier barrier or a brand new U-joint, they're just trying to take one part out of one truck and put it in another truck properly.
yeah, do that.
Few things. So yeah, Sarah can do that. Just tell her don't go over the $1,500.
Mhm.
So, and then, I know we discussed this last year, apparently they ended up getting purchased, was tires for the backhoe. There's two quotes, one from Sullivan Tire, and this is front and rear for that backhoe. Sullivan Tire was $3,968.60, and Pete's Tire Barn was $4,522.98. So,
So we still have leftover money because we didn't purchase them last year?
no, that budget's already done, over.
Doesn't roll in?
No. So,
So what's that gonna do for maintenance? Or backhoe,
their maintenance,
backhoe line item?
only budgeted $6,000, so.
And then there's maintenance too, right? After that is, don't we have a maintenance program on the backhoe as well?
Well, they got a service that they're cutting edges, the stabilizer patch.
Is it servicing, is that a separate line item?
No, it's no meaning. The oils and lubricants will come out of it, any filters will come out of the backhoe line, if they buy them, using themselves. I know that they're trying not to do a lot of the maintenance themselves, so.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make a motion to purchase the tires again. For $3,960. Right?
$68.
68,
968,
3968,
About 60.
.60.
So, if you wanna make it so it doesn't exceed a certain amount, you can do that, just in case.
So we're gonna round it up to 44,000?
Honestly, yeah, because you never know when you go full time.
I'll make a motion not to exceed $4,000 and purchase tires from backhoe. Did I get a second?
I'll say.
Jason seconds it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So you can get that taken care of now. Al? Utility truck?
Yes. Congratulations, Jason and Paul.
And I just wanna thank you for correcting the inaccurate statement at town meeting. That the ISO rating is a 6 out of 9.
6-6Y.
Yep.
I still haven't found out what the 6Y was yet.
And that was effective August 1st, 2025.
Yes, we did a ISO report last year, and at the time I couldn't verify it, so I didn't want to say anything.
I'm just
It
having.
was verified this morning.
Okay. Okay, utility truck.
Yes, I do have 3 proposals for the utility truck. The existing utility truck we have right now is a 2012, which was originally bought for Mark Tatro. Back then, he was the full-time chief. It's gone through some rough stages. It's at the point right now that the bed's starting to rust out, the frame is questionable. Tires would have to be replaced. We're running studded tires on it right now, because that's all we have. Originally, the board had held me to like 70,000, which I can keep it under 70,000. And what we're looking for is, would like to get either 250 to 350. Some of the prices here for 350. A crew cab, white, and it is the wish of the selectmen to be a pickup style, which is fine with me. I talked to the members and asked the members what they like, and they agreed pickup style would be fine.
Is this-
I did not get any prices of cabs.
just to fully understand. Purposes.
It's gonna have the rolling in the back, and we use it for, like the other one was hoses and.
We possibly could take the slide tray out
Yeah.
and put it in a new one. I would entertain that, there'd be no problem, there'd be no reason why we'd have to buy a new slide tray, so. But the slide tray was also protected from the snow and ice with the cap.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you transferred it or stay where it is.
It could be transferred. So the truck itself, a four-door crew cab, which is, basically all four doors are full-size, four-wheel drive. It's about from the 50s, 51, 52, and then to outfit it with lights and all the lights, the radios and everything's.
Which is not included in here, right?
It's not included.
Outfitted.
Right, I got 3 prices for the different Nevo, Osprey Mountain, and also there was a dealer, out of, Mark. Gave me a price to buy the stuff at state bid, then we can have another installer install it, to keep down the cost for the lighting, so it's under 70,000 for the whole package. And originally, one of the board members had asked me to get a plow prep, just in case.
Yeah.
So, that's just, I think it's a bigger alternator and heavy duty springs, is that correct?
Springs and sometimes the fan clutch is different.
Pardon me, Andy?
Sometimes the fan clutch is different.
Okay.
The electrical portion of it
Yeah.
is the.
And probably the wire harness built in too. So,
So the one from Evo and Patriot, those are combined, those proposals?
Yeah.
Evo was just the installation and Patriot was the light siren.
Yeah.
The interior.
that's a Patriot. So, it was actually, he's actually a firefighter that worked, Jim Linkbush, that's who it is. He said he could get us, if you look at the prices, what he could get us for it in an Evo for the installation. Yeah. Or we can go to Osprey Mountain, which is a good deal too.
OME seems to be cheaper.
Yes.
Has the board fully looked this over?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused, yeah. These look all the same. We budgeted for prices on.
You want more time to review everything? Look
No,
these
it
over?
doesn't matter to me, as long as we don't. They're all in the
And
same.
all the prices are all from there's 3 quotes from the same vendor.
No, I get new car, no, it's new car, and also Irving, Irwin, yeah, Irwin.
How much was Irwin's? Because I don't think Karen had that.
No, he did, I asked him to send it, but he didn't, he had a fire.
I was at a fire this
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
That was about 49,000. If you'd like me to resubmit these, I can to you. Everybody will be on the same
Yeah.
page. I mean, they're all within
I'd
1,000 or 2. I mean, we could all, I could sit down with one of you guys.
Yeah, resubmit them there, and yeah. I
Okay.
think to drag it on, but I want everybody on the same page.
That's fine.
So,
And where in the budget is this coming from?
that's out of his expendable trust. The one from not last year's town meeting that was talked about and withdrawn. And the big discussion was awarding, getting reimbursed from FEMA. We got reimbursed,
Okay.
so. Anything else, chief?
No, we had a structure fire this afternoon, 34 Scopper Lane. It's owned by the Badger family, National Welding, on White Oak Road. It was a total loss when we got there. I was the first on the scene with firefighter Matt Furtney, and by the time we got there, we actually were on Beecham Road and North Road looking at a old fire pond. It does have a dry hydrant, we just found out, another source of water, and we had to turn around and we we saw the plume of smoke from there. By the time we got there, the house was fully involved. So, there were no injuries, several cats were, passed away. The homeowner was, consoled, and we actually saved his, UTVs he had in the yard, we got them out of the way before they melted. But the house is a total loss. So, that's all I have.
Any known cause yet?
No, it was a total loss. I didn't even dare put firefighters even in the building, or even near the building. Yeah, there was nothing we were gonna do but put water on the structure and just let it, we had an excavator come in and clean it up and move the stuff around so we could make sure the fire was completely, so,
Well, fortunately, no one was hurt.
nobody was hurt, yeah, that's all I have. I'll resubmit that and then just give me an answer.
Well, we'll talk about it next Tuesday.
Yeah, you want me here or no?
It's up to you if you wanna be,
Sure.
so,
Don't mind.
I'd rather talk about it with you here.
Yeah, okay, I'll resubmit it.
Like,
Okay, thank you. This came in, it's just a request for Ted Hassel. All right, thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Good.
Great job, Al.
That's it.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations, guys.
paving RFP there, I'm still working on that. Right now I've got the upper portion of North Barnstable Road, Beauty Hill West, West Lock, Watson Road, Beauty Hill, West Lock, and Watson Road are just a kind of a maintenance. Shim there is all. North Barnstable Road is a total reconstruction, grind it, repave it from the base. Question I had was, last year we had talked about Maple Street and having Maple Street done for next year when the school project is done. And fixing those catch basins. The big question is probably more for Jason, but what do we do with Maple Street? Do we mill it, fix the catch basins? Do we reclaim it?
We're not gonna do anything until the construction's done, right? Isn't that what you just said?
Well, if we reclaim it this year, then you would top it next year. This is why I'm asking, just planning ahead.
Is there paving out of that project at all?
Theirs? Yeah,
Yeah, that's all kinds of,
their own parking lot.
just the parking lot?
Yeah, they won't do anything with the roadway. But
Do
that's
they have
our-
a bond on that by any chance?
the road? I don't believe so.
There's no boat road on it? No bond?
I don't believe so.
So if they trash the road, doesn't matter.
My thought, Jason, was we built that this year and brought those basins up and then top it next year, and Andy had mentioned that too. We did it that way maybe.
I don't think you're gonna be able to.
I mean, I haven't measured the deviation, and then, but
I think those basins need to come up, so.
They definitely would, reclaim would certainly be the best,
I mean,
more expensive.
if we do that this year, then I said, we just plan to top it next year.
Yeah.
So, I just wanna, I mean, we can always put it in, see what comes back the price for paving. Go from there, see what it is. Blizzard and.
I just don't wanna get, that construction up there is not gonna be done until December.
Well, that's
If
why,
we're paving in June,
well, that's why it's only base. It's no different than basing a road when you go through the freeze-thaw cycle, and you top it the next year.
Or if we mill it, yeah.
But anyways, those type basins, they do better fix those. So. So does the board want me to add it?
I think
yeah, you can take it out if you don't want it.
We can always put it in.
Yeah.
So. I'll do that, and then I will finalize that and send it over to the board. Oh, Suncook Lake drawdown. What exactly was that happening?
You can look in the folder if you have a folder, I believe it was April 21st, it's in April. They will hold a public hearing here, they advertise that just to let people know the drawdown will be for the whole year. Because they have to replace the dam, this is the dam bureau, they have to do some major work on that dam.
So be it down for the whole summer.
Yes,
Really big.
So that's
should be in correspondence. Call it board mail.
This doesn't say.
Did you say they were having a meeting April 21st?
Yeah, they're gonna be here at the select board's agenda on April 21st.
They're gonna fill us in on what's going on.
This says for 2027.
The drawdown will be for the whole year,
Of 27.
Of 27.
from 26 to 27, or all of 27.
It just says to make a public notification of keeping, subsequently drawdown for 2027. The dam will be reconstructing, the dam bureau will be reconstructing the dam and to maintain safety for construction. We'll need to keep it at winter level for all of 2027, so 2 years. Wow. I didn't realize it was 2 years, I thought it was just 1 year. So, April 21st, more information on that. We'll see what that's all about. Okay. Public input, I'll open it at 7:05. Rusty?
Good evening, George Kraus, 455 New Road. Tonight I'm speaking on behalf of the Forest Fire Warden. Effective today, permits are required. What we have witnessed with the temperature and the rain and everything else, we have lost much of the snow cover. The requirements are that if you're going to kindle a fire with the snow cover requirement, that you have to have 100 feet in all directions from the fire. And if you start looking around, that's a little more difficult to get with what's happened and with the forecast going forward. So effective today, I issued that direction to the fire department, all the deputy wardens and issuing agents. I've also requested that be put on the town's website. I sent that to Danielle.
You already did?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
And I also reached out to Jim Topham to have it put on the Boston Fire Rescue Facebook page. So we're trying to, we're gonna be reasonable in the next few days. And because there are some spots where that 100 feet in all directions for a person kindling a fire might still be in that particular location, but universally, snow cover is pretty well really going away, so. But I want to just make everybody aware of that. I think it's,
Rusty, is there any limitation on people burning in fire pits?
fire pits are, the standard fire permit requirements are that if you're running what's a category 1, which is and this has just made a change effective this year. We used to have it be a 24-inch fire resistor ring. It's now gone to a 32-inch fire resistor ring for a category 1 fire, which is the campfire, cooking fire, not a bonfire. And the requirements are 25 feet from a house or structure, and also it has to, but you can burn during the day. All right. A category 2, which is the next step up, still is a requirement for a fire resistor ring, and it has to be 50 feet from a dwelling or structure of any type, and those can only be burned with a permit after 5 p.m. and have to be fully extinguished by 9 a.m. the following morning. All right, but you can't leave it burning overnight unattended. We also have if it's raining, that changes the complexity of things, but most people go on campfires when it's raining, standing outside, but there may be people that do, so we have to.
So you went from a 24-inch ring to a 32-inch ring?
Yes.
For the regular campfire?
For category 1, yeah.
Why, you want bigger fires?
No, this was state reviews and they issue changes through administrative rules. And what they were finding is that if if you go to Home Depot or some of the concrete supply houses that have pre-formed fire rings, none of them were 24, they were all 32.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it was a matter of, okay, let's get it with the times, I guess.
Right.
But,
That makes sense.
so, good question. And, you know, I'll have any questions, because I'd be more than happy. We're in a
Has the sign
transition.
been changed?
The sign will change as the fire danger changes, and right now, a fire danger 1 is fine, and permits required, that's where we're at, permits
So make
required.
sure that sign gets updated.
Let me tell you, Rick, it will be. And if you wanna come down and take a picture every morning, I'll let you do that, how's that? Just to make sure we're not slacking.
I knew you were on it.
Oh, well,
I knew you were on it.
we're gonna try anyhow. So, thank you.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you, Chief. Anyone else? Public input?
Going once. Going twice.
Close public input at 7:09. Have anything, Amy? For us?
You can come next week.
As a department head, do you have anything?
Oh, no.
Can we,
You have enough public?
yeah.
Oh, good.
Annie, are you available for non-public?
Sure.
You have a what?
I'll make a motion to go into, non-public for RSA, 91-A:3, for number 2, C, personnel.